SEC finally holding refs accountable? Is college football finally becoming a fair game? Well, maybe so. Ken Williamson, head SEC referee for the last 21 years, has been permanently suspended by the SEC. Not only this, Texas A&M has been fined $50,000 for faking an injury against Arkansas. Are we finally seeing referees being held accountable? This is Random SEC. You're watching the Random SEC channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. The SEC has had a rough history with officials, and I think everybody who watches the conference knows that. It's been rough. I mean, I've been watching games for as long as I've been alive, and multiple times each week I see teams getting screwed because of officials. Now, I'm not going to sit here and dog on officials because it's one of the hardest jobs out there. Don't get me wrong. But I've always said, if coaches are being held accountable, if players are being held accountable, these are kids. If ADs are being held accountable, well, why can't the officials be? Now, I'm not saying they have to be on a podium and after a game and answer the media about their calls, but they need to, be suspended, have consequences. And for the longest time, that hasn't happened. But here it may have. Ken Williamson has been a referee in college football for over 4 decades. Williamson even officiated the SEC championship game in 2021. The SEC states that their officials are evaluated routinely. They say that, there's report cards and all this stuff, but we've never really seen them actually have consequences for this. We've never seen them be fined. We've never seen them be suspended at all. And in fact, it kind of seems like the SEC goes out of their way to support the refs in these situations. I mean, once again, I don't want to dog on refs because, heck, there's no shot in God's green earth that I'm going to referee a college football game. That would be insanely tough. But when you have the review, you have the replay, you have all of this to you. They spend like 15 minutes every game just reviewing these plays that seem so easy, and the announcers even say it, and you still get it wrong. And that's what happened with Ken Williamson on numerous occasions in this Auburn-Georgia game, the game that ultimately got him banned permanently, which I don't really know what that means. Like, is he suspended for the season? Is it just a couple games? It says permanently. Like, are they going to reevaluate or something? But I don't know what the full extent of that means. But so Ken Williamson, I don't know anything about the guy. I know he's been a head referee for a long time. I know he's probably done good and he's probably done bad. But I'm just saying, college football in general has a problem with this, but the SEC, man, just poor refereeing. And it's crazy to see them finally give them consequences, because especially when referees were like kind of prestigious in the SEC, in the refereeing world, like he was, Ken Williamson, they would be like, oh, well, he's a long-standing official and we can't fine him. And we can't do him. He got it right. He was doing his best. It's a really tough position. Yes, it's a tough position, but I'm sure there's plenty of people who would want to do it. You're refereeing a top-notch SEC night game. Like, I'm sure we could find other people who could do the job better. And I doubt he's biased or anything, but what we're specifically talking about here is this Auburn-Georgia game where Jackson Arnold is literally clearly across the plane. He has a touchdown, and then the ball comes loose, but he's already across the plane. It doesn't matter. And then Georgia jumps on it, and they spend like at least 20 minutes reviewing this. And then Ken Williamson and the referees, they ultimately call this a fumble, and it was just outrage on the internet. And I'm sure you saw the play. Like, it was ridiculous. And not only this, later this game, Kirby Smart had one of the most ridiculous shenanigans you've ever seen. And I think even Kirby Smart knows how stupid it is. You've definitely seen it. It's where Kirby Smart's, he's calling for a timeout, and he doesn't get it. Or they give it to him, but he's like, and he starts clapping, says, no, I was clapping, I don't want the timeout. I don't want the timeout, because Georgia actually got the playoff. So it was kind of ridiculous, and it didn't end up meaning too much in the game. But still, like, how are you going to let that happen? It's just a laughing stock. And, like, it's nice. It's really nice to see officials get consequences. And I'm not wishing any bad thing about them. You know, it's tough to be out of a job, but we all know that. But when you keep making these types of calls, it's hard to back you up. And when it consistently happens, like, I could name, my team's Arkansas, I could name at least 20 references off the top of my head where we've been screwed out of a freaking game. And, like, that's why I don't really feel bad for Auburn that they lost this game, because my team's been screwed against them a lot. But I feel like even Georgia fans can say that Auburn got so screwed that game. It's ridiculous. But maybe we're in a new age of college football. You know, maybe we're finally making them be accountable. You know, maybe we are suspending them. Maybe we are firing them if they are, you know, calling the game poorly. And that would be great to see. But what we really need is something that's consistent. Like, I like what the ACC is doing this year. They're letting you hear what the refs are saying in the review process. They're letting you see what they're doing in the review process. That way there's 100% transparency. So if it's a bad call, you know why it's a bad call. And there's none of this, like, oh, the ref's betting on the game. Oh, this ref sucked. No, you know what he's saying. You know what he went through his head. If he gets the call wrong, then you know why he got it wrong. You can now go on that and say, well, this is what you did, this, that, and this. I think we could use that. I think we could also use what we've done here in the SEC and suspend refs. I think we need a base for that, though. Like, we can't just suspend refs willy-nilly. That kind of makes the job rough. And usually officials have pretty good strikes and, like, unions, so they could very easily strike and grant even more protection for themselves. But what I'm trying to say is, like, we need report cards every game, and they need to be consistent. And if these report cards, like, go past a certain point, then yeah, you get suspended for a couple games. But Ken Williamson, I just genuinely, he needed to be suspended in some scenario. But I'm reading here now that it says he's not expected to return after 17 years with the SEC. So that's pretty rough. I gotta admit, you know, not even being able to return to the conference. Like, I'm sure he'll find a job somewhere else, but that's pretty rough. Yeah, and so this is not the only instance that the SEC has been cracking down on officials. Earlier this week, Texas A&M got fined $50,000 for faking an injury against Arkansas, which is quite insane because Texas A&M also already had been punished that game with a timeout charged after they faked the injury. It was pretty apparent that there's a fake injury. Like, Arkansas fans were booing, and it was very cheap. We've seen this in the SEC. We've seen this in college football, though, for the past few years. I mean, really the past, like, decade. They've been faking injuries because there's no repercussions for it. Why wouldn't you fake injuries? Like, Lane Kiffin, that's a special, man. But I get the frustration for Aggie fans. Like, this has been going on for so long, and you're just now doing something about it, and you're going to fine us $50,000 for it. And, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, $50,000 is nothing, but for A&M. But it is nice to see that they are finally holding teams accountable for fake injuries, because is there really anything else that can get under your skin more than a freaking fake injury when your team is doing good and your offense is rolling, and then, oh no, someone gets a cramp in week freaking 8 and has to go down? Like, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So it's good to see. It's good to see that Greg Sankey's finally doing something about this. You know, I wish the best for Ken Williamson, but you just can't make these calls all the time and have a team's basically season hinge on these terrible calls. Like Auburn's been screwed out of 2 games this year, Oklahoma and Georgia, and it's nice to see accountability being taken, because I said it earlier, freaking 18 and 17-year-olds are having to go to media and answer to them, are having to have their every move watched by, the outside, these college athletes. And you're telling me a referee can't take that? He doesn't need it all, but he chose this job. This job is meaningful to a lot of people. A lot of people care about college football, and they need to be held accountable. So I'm going to say this is a great move by Greg Sankey. I do want a little more transparency with the fans. I think we could have a little more consistency, but overall, just a fantastic move by Greg Sankey. And, could we see more of this in the future? I don't know. But yeah, SEC officiating is finally getting better, and I'm here for it. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment. Do whatever you can here to support Random SEC. We are a growing YouTube channel, and we are trying to do our best here. And follow us on all socials, especially Instagram. We have 14K there at randomsec.ig. But thank you all for listening, and have a great day.